I'm Doug Carter from StarTech.com, and I'm a United Way ChangeMaker.
So welcome, first of all.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Of course.
And congratulations, of course, on being a ChangeMaker winner.
Yes.
So let's start back at the beginning.
Sure.
I'd love to hear your story, a little bit about what got you involved with United Way and how that happened.
Yeah, for sure. So it probably started back when I started with StarTech, over 10 years ago. I really wanted to get involved outside my day-to-day job, and there was some recruitment for the United Way committee, and I had no idea how big it was at StarTech until year one. And so seeing it firsthand, I think it really blew me away, seeing all the passion within the organization and really how they developed and came together as one team to drive awareness around United Way and how big it was. And so that was over 10 years ago, and I've been back every year, and every year I learned more and more about United Way and how much it means to the community and the work that they do. And I don't do it for the awards or anything like that, but it's definitely nice to see some recognition, and I'm happy to keep serving, and it's a big part of who I am.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're definitely happy to have you on cabinet and the committee, and we partner in so many different ways. So when we look at everything that StarTech has done this past year, there's been presentations, people that come out to StarTech, going around visiting different agencies. So you personally experiencing all of those things, is there something that you saw or experienced that said, okay, this is why I do everything that I do, this is what makes the difference?
All new employees at StarTech within London go out for what we call a tour, right? And I think it's a big part of the campaign. It really gets you firsthand visibility into where your dollars are going. So when I look back 10 years ago, I would say that to me was a turning point. It's like, wow, okay, it's real out here and the need is there. And when you're visiting various agencies, it's apparent that their need is quite significant. And I think that has kind of snowballed over the years. And I try and attend as many of those impact tours as I can, because everyone is different. And then each agency has a different need. And I think hearing the firsthand stories really makes a big impact on myself and other StarTechers that are new to the organization. And that's how we get the participation numbers we do, is because we make it a priority that they see where their dollars are going.
Mm-hmm. So every company and individual have certain causes that are close to their heart. When you think of your team at StarTech and you personally as well, is there a social issue that is specifically close to your heart and meaningful?
Yeah, so I would say homelessness is definitely a big one. We're realizing it in the city. I used to live downtown, and I would see it firsthand. And I think there's a huge need for it, and it's grown. So trying to tackle that area is big for me, and trying to get it, more awareness around it, because it's easy to think, oh, it's not my backyard if you're not living downtown, but it definitely resonates with a lot of individuals I talk to on that. And then the other big piece is definitely the children's side of it. Having young kids, I think it's tough to see some kids who struggle, and then trying to get them the support they need. So, and I know United Way is very big on that aspect of it as well. And I think between those two areas, it really demonstrates the need and how I can kind of help and try and drive change and awareness within homelessness and, child support within the city and in the area.
So somebody who is interested in wanting to make a change, but they don't know how to or where to start, what advice would you give them?
I think United Way makes it really easy. You just have to raise your hand and basically say, I want to help. And then the staff and, leadership here with United Way is fantastic. Every little bit you give back does help. And I think when it comes to being a change maker, you don't need to boil the ocean. It's just do what you can. And then it's more of a collective effort between all the individuals that are involved with United Way. And together we can create a big impact. And I think that's the key messaging around being a change maker.
No, that's great. Is there a story that you can share, something that you experienced that really impacted you or changed your mindset?
Yeah, so I go back to the first Impact tour that I was on as a new member of the Star Tech community, and we went up to Stevenson's Children's Camp, who is one of the beneficiaries of United Way funding, and just seeing what they do in terms of support and guidance for these children, I was blown away. I think it was really eye opening to me. Being someone in their early 20s, kids weren't definitely in the realm there, but it it's lasted with me, and I think they do so much for deserving children, and that was kind of the first like eye opening Impact tour, and you know I've been back a couple times since then, and every time I go there, I'm just blown away by what they do for these kids and how much energy and guidance a week at camp means to these individuals. And so I think that is kind of an aspect that I've grown with and continue to think about as we hear more and more about United Way.
So, Doug, we are so thankful for you and well-deserved recognition for a ChangeMaker Award. And I just want to share a little bit of what was written about you. Doug was so passionate in wanting to make a difference with the campaign this year. He helped plan and execute the StarTech.com campaign, was active on cabinet with business development, donor follow-up, and was a big supporter when we filmed our workplace campaign video. Doug is a great communicator, proactive, and always willing to help, and we so appreciate you.
Well, yes, thank you.
Why is giving back so important to you?
It's just something of who I am. It's in my DNA, and being a part of the StarTech.com community, it's really brought it out of me. Seeing firsthand how the organization gives back themselves, it's energized me to continue to develop and drive that within myself. It really helps to know that United Way is there to support that, and I think it's beneficial to see firsthand. Whether the dollars, whether you're volunteering, it all goes back to the community, and it's really cool to see how a small impact can make a big difference across London and the area.
So how does StarTech.com encourage that as being part of your corporate culture?
Great question. So it's really top-down approach. Everyone within the campaign is involved, from leadership all the way down. We really strive to get everyone involved as best they can. We say even $1 helps out. If that's all you can contribute, that's all we want, and we're not celebrating the dollar milestones we hit at the end of the year. We're celebrating the overall participation number that we give as an organization. And so it comes back to that United Way mentality where small amounts make a big difference. And what we do is we focus more on the people side of it. And we wanted to bring everyone together. And it's kind of the StarTech culture where, it's a one team mentality. And that has been a huge success within the organization. And when one person wins, we all win. So if we can grow it together and make it a truly fun event throughout the campaign, everyone wins at that point.